We got a lot to talk about, a lot to unpack as we get you set, ready to go. Second game in the dance. We've already seen Mississippi State eliminate Illinois in the opening tip. Almost tapped right here to our trusted analyst and colleague, Brooke Weisbrod.
And yet still, where are you? Not in front of me, taking the charge. Letting everybody know who I'm working with the next 5 days.
Oh, boy. Sacred Heart with possession to start the NEC champs. And Pryor called for an offensive foul right out of the gates. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Capital One. Pryor called for her first foul. Leading scorer, one of the top defensive players in the country, Sarah Brannon. Bonner Johnson and Olivia Tucker does a lot of the glue work for this team this year. And for the Jaguars, Taylor Williams, Chloe Fleming. McWayne, told you about Johnson, the leading scorer. She was teammates in high school with Raven White out of Dillard High School down in Florida. They won a state championship there together. Now a conference title in college together.
Yeah, there's some fantastic chemistry between these two players. And number 20, McWayne, she has been to the tournament before in 2019. So they've got experience. And what you're going to like about both of these teams, a lot of pressing. It is a lot of high energy. Southern was talking about, hey, we're going to go hard for 40 minutes. Do what we can to make Pryor's night difficult. They already drew a charge on her.
Raven White, first points of the game, an air ball tossed up by Brannon.
You're going to like that matchup, too, between her and White, because they're both going to really battle for position on the inside. And then once they get it, great footwork and just contesting shots, right? You don't want to get into early foul trouble.
Jessica Benetti, year number 10. Her first trip to the NCAA tournament was emotional yesterday. Her press conference chronicling the adventure and the trip to make it this far. Came close in 2015, only to lose at home in the NEC championship game. Now punching their ticket for the first time. First time under Coach Benetti, the Sacred Heart Pioneers made it back in 2012. Carlos Funches has made it a couple of times. Year number 5 as Southern's head coach. 14 years previously as an assistant.
Sacred Heart showing the 2-3 zone.
How
about it?
Bonner, the rejection out of bounds.
I mean, you want Southern to try and shoot the outside shots, and no matter what, either team, right? You want to start this tournament off and try to secure the paint, and you want to send a message. Hey, this is a great way to do it right here. Bonner saying you better come a little more correct than that.
2-0, 90 seconds in. Winner gets Stanford Friday night. Shot clock down to 5. And a traveling violation. Fleming shuffled the feet.
It's easy to do right in games like this. There's so much anxiety and nerves built up to this moment that you can forget to do the little things right.
How about a steal off the inbounds?
Meeting the pass. Perfect example.
Layup was missed. 3 on the other side. No. Fleming controls. And McWayne had a clear path. Couldn't finish inside. Raven White can, and a chance for 3.
I like the look inside. Raven White had good, strong position. And she makes herself a target as well off that high ball screen. She's going to slip it. You see the double team there. When you're late and you're late to help, you got to understand that you got to slide over there. See her slip the screen. That's where Bonner's got to slide over quicker and try to contest that shot.
White 55% at the line. 5-0 Southern right out of the gate. Foul was called on Brannon, her first, team second. Now 2 minutes in. Pioneers in search of their first points. Tucker gives it to him.
Oh, she's so smooth with it, Roy. Like, you're going to hear me brag about her mid-range game all night. If you're bored by it, too bad. Her mid-range game is so smooth.
I think we've seen a renaissance of sorts for the mid-range game.
Oh, am I bringing you around?
You're
like
not,
this.
but the actual players are. Another chance for a 3-point play. Johnson inside.
So this play right here embodies the toughness that she brings and that she was talking to us about today, coming from her family. She's going to drive the lane so hard. So you better either set up for a charge or contest it very well. And Pryor, who's got 1 foul already, can't get herself any more trouble right there, right? So she's got to just contest, and that's where the help side, it was there. She made a tough shot.
Foul was on Brandon, her second. Wood checks in, 3 the hard way for Johnson. 8-2 Southern. And a great start for the SWAC champions here in Stamford. Here's Johnson off the bounce. Pioneers look a little unsettled in another turnover.
Well, and you see Pryor go right up to her, just dab her up to Johnson and just say, I got you. And I think right now, Pryor needs to have the ball in her hands. She doesn't need to score, but she does need to create. You see Sacred Heart going back to their press. This is what they did in the championship game. 5 minutes left, they put the press on, and that was the difference maker.
Top of the #1 seed FDU, Raven White, absolutely dominant inside. She's got 7 points. Euro, not this time by Pryor.
You saw her motion get a little ahead of herself. Her chest was way out over her feet.
And tapped out. It'll go back to Sacred Heart. 10-2.
I think you need some inside scoring for Sacred Heart. You know, you got Wood in the game right now. Kelsey Wood, number 34. She's going to be a difference maker because she can break up the responsibility of Pryor, feeling like she's got to carry this team right now or force something to happen. She doesn't. That's what makes her such a good player. She lets the game come to her.
Elbow J, not this time for Kelsey Wood. Now the other 2 teams here we'll talk about later tonight and deeper into the weekend. Ole Miss and Gonzaga. Need the 8-9 matchup. Turnover, here comes Pryor. And a foul called. She did have a path.
Yeah, clear path, but I don't feel like there was enough of a holdback there. Usually it's an intentional jersey grab and whatnot. But you see the game, right? Let's get to her and body her up as soon as we can, because the more you allow her to work within the paint, that's where she becomes the most dangerous.
Isn't that the most intriguing matchup to see? Okay, Pryor out of the NEC working against Southern's defense out of the SWAC.
Oh, yeah.
They haven't seen each other this year. That's a block inside. And so far, advantage Southern. Wood corrals it, somehow puts it up and in.
Yeah, just give Pryor some time. I mean, she's got to get used to this pressure, this pace, this intensity on defense. Yeah, Southern's going to bring it for 40 minutes. It's for someone like Pryor who grew up playing, understands toughness, grew up in Baltimore basketball, she's all right with that.
Metcalf was bumped by Amelia Wood. That's her first. So already 14 fouls called against Sacred Heart. It's been the Raven White spectacular thus far. 3 for 3 from the floor, rebound. 7 points overall. Metcalf at the line where she is 67% this season. A lot of talk in this tournament already about, can South Carolina repeat? Can the Gamecocks finish the season undefeated and check all of these boxes all at once?
Can anybody come within single digits?
Ole Miss, the team that's here in Stanford, took them to overtime, right?
They did, and I know that UCLA would love a nice little rematch themselves. But South Carolina is so professional, in my opinion, and deep.
You know,
in that second
watching this right now, fist bumping. Here's how close they were, but she wanted the dub.
Oh, yeah.
Get it. 12-4.
Yeah, you feel the pace slow down a bit for Southern, but they're still hitting. The way that they're driving, Sacred Heart's got to do a better job, the guards do, of pressuring up top.
Diamond Hunter, largest lead, it's 10 for the Jaguars. And halfway through the first quarter, it is all Southern. SWAC champions out in front. The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Here in Stanford, California, celebrating the 3-time champions going back in the day, and of course the Cardinal awaiting the winner of this game tonight. In these first 4 matchups, the second of 2 taking place tonight to kickstart 2023 NCAA tournament. Here's a look at the bracket. Ole Miss and Gonzaga. That is a juicy, that is a spicy matchup.
Juicy and spicy. Wow,
Yes.
you're going to get both of those at the same time. Yes, you're talking about Angel Baker out of Ole Miss, somebody that is determined to get herself to the WNBA.
Tara Vanderveer, of course, the head coach of the Cardinal, trying to make another deep run back to the Final Four. They can do it. They're the number 1 seed, obviously, or a number 1 seed, and the talent is there. The defense is there.
Yes.
The tenacity is there, right?
Coach Swag. I mean, Coach Vanderveer has got the most swag of anybody, I think.
10-point lead for Southern. SWAC champions over the NEC title winners. Kelsey Wood after the rebound. Olivia Tucker for 3. Well, I felt like we saw her make 4 or 5 of those shots in the NEC title game on Sunday up in Hackensack, New Jersey, didn't we?
They're trying to involve in offense and sort of find that rhythm right now, right? Sacred Heart is playing an offense without a rhythm. So everybody's stepping up and willing to score. So it is problematic for them, and they're trying to work through it. You can see it. I'll tell you what, though, Southern's defense is causing issues because the guards are pressuring so well. I mean, Pryor is seeing face guarding at times. They really don't want her to handle the ball.
Metcalf checks out. Sacred Heart back to work. Pioneers shooting just 25% going into that last timeout. It's a backdoor cut. We'll stay on this end.
So again, if you're going to go backdoor cut, looks like Bonner is. Bonner's hobbling out. May have twisted an ankle on the way out.
So Sierra Johnson comes in. So Jada Bonner checks out.
Yeah, you hope that she's able to get back in this game. She's definitely an experienced player. They need her. That is always tough.
Pryor off the bounce. Tried to sneak it up there and in. Couldn't do it. Outstanding defense again by Southern.
Yeah, you just wall up. Good help side.
It's Harrison that recorded that block on the other end.
Yeah, Tucker able to get a piece of the ball on this end and knock it off a Southern player. So Pryor once again just trying to get the ball over half court, getting bothered. So the one passing shot is not typical at all for Sacred Heart, but somebody's got to break it open. And there was Wood. Do it.
Amelia Wood from downtown. First 3 of the game for either side. Sacred Heart now with new life. Wood again left open this time from the wing. How about a quick 6-0 burst for number 3 in red?
This team is capable of moments like this. They just needed a little confidence to get them going. Now they're able to set up their press and try to do to Southern what they've been doing to them. Now again, Southern's not a team that's going to get rattled. They've got Power 5 experience.
Harrison inside, no. Cleared by Kelsey Wood. Yeah, the Wood sisters getting the job done these last 60 seconds. Johnson baseline. 8-0 run. And it's a 1-possession game just like that.
And you see they're taking shots that are good shots. It doesn't matter to them that they have to pass second and third side. A lot of teams working through that. Young teams will have to. But Sacred Heart is taking what the defense gives them.
Quick 3, tapped out. But Amelia Wood, a difference maker here early.
Yeah, they found the long ball. Needed something to work for him. Pryor has not been able to get it done just yet, but she sets up her teammates. This is what makes her good. If she's not scoring, no problem. She's going to pass the ball off just in the right spot. Wood now 2 of 2 from behind the line. This is what makes them the postseason team, right? You bring someone off the bench to knock down 2 quick threes and get you right back in this game.
Johnson open. Couldn't get the bounce. It'll be tracked down by Johnson. Genovia Johnson for Southern, leading scorer. 25 in white. Blocked by Wood, out of bounds. Back to Sacred Heart.
I think that's smart movement. Putting a bigger player on her who can move, but knowing you're going to put her into help side as well, that is a brilliant defensive adjustment here for Sacred Heart. That's twice now. A Sacred Heart player has been able to tip a ball and knock it off a Southern player.
Pryor full head of steam. Pioneers have connected on 3 of their last 4. Wood off the mark this time. That would have given Sacred Heart its first lead. Sacred Heart out of Fairfield, Connecticut, just outside New York City. Southern University located the booming metropolis of Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Heard there's another decent team coming out of that city, no?
I think so.
I think so too, and I think they're going to learn a lesson from that SEC tournament game. And hearing Kim Mulkey in a huddle say, the great teams don't give up leads. We're a good team. We're just not a great team. It was powerful stuff. So I am very curious to see how LSU comes through in this first round of the NCAA tournament.
Taylor Williams just picked up her first personal. That last layup by Fontenot. We've got a highlight to show you on Aaliyah Fontenot later tonight that is worth waiting around for. If you want to know why Southern made it this far, the answer is number 2 in white with a miracle shot. The SWAC championship actually was in the semifinals. That's what this time of year is all about. March Madness, right? It's what gets us out of our seat.
Oh, it's unbelievable shots like that. We saw them all across the country. But you see play, and my favorite is, it's not even the shot, it's what happens right after that. Everybody diving on the floor, stunned faces in the crowd. It's all the reactions.
I would go with the emotion. The reaction's right there too, but you see the tears of joy, the tears of pain, it all happens at once. And Pryor was bumped. Don't forget the NCAA Women's Championship continues Friday with first-round games and continues through Sunday, April 2nd when we crown a champion. Every game is on the ESPN family of networks. For more information, go to NCAA.com. Your home for all 90 NCAA championships. Tucker off the bounce. Couldn't get the bounce.
She got the shot, though, and Sacred Heart continued to take the right shots. What I'd like to see from Southern is a little more of that 2-man game that was working for them. Some high screen and rolls, try to slip, get White a touch inside. She had great position and was begging for the basketball. You gotta give it to her.
3-second violation. Shot clock is off what could be the final possession. Entertaining first quarter, and Carlos Funches, I think, would take this start for his team for Southern, right? I
definitely believe that. I mean, you got the lead, you got your team defensively establishing what they want to do. You've got Pryor held to 0 points on 0 for 3 shooting. I'd say so, but look, she's already got 4 assists.
Under 10 seconds remaining here in our first quarter. Pryor off the mark. Jaguars have some time. And the heave well short. That was a fast start by Southern. Jaguars led it 14-4, but an 8-0 run by Sacred Heart, and Amelia Wood getting it done.
Amelia Wood off the bench, giving you some defense, and White on the inside for Southern has been their answer. They got to go back to that. Here's Amelia Wood. 3 for you, 3 for me.
Well, we told you about it in the first quarter. Simply put, this was the shot heard around the SWAC. Aaliyah Fontenot hit the game-winning 3. Her team was trailing by 2. The runner goes, and the upset secured. Jackson State, remember, the defending champs from last year in the SWAC. And then now here's Southern University all the way in the NCAA tournament. That jumper, that 3, got it done.
That's a runner, floater, layup, teardrop.
All the above.
That ball must have felt like a feather leaving her fingertips. That's when you know it's going to go in. I mean, she had full knowledge of that shot when she was going to hit it. You know, she was like, all right, you can just tell. And then again, diving on the floor is the best, as Coach knows. He's been here before, but not since 2019.
6th all-time appearance for Southern in the Big Dance. March Madness is finally here. Brooke Weisbrod, Roy Philpott, Maples Pavilion. Stanford, the #1 seed. We will see the Cardinal in action for the first time against the winner of this game Friday night. Prime time on the East Coast, 7:30 ESPN2. Set your clocks. make an announcement, do what you have to do on social media. We expect to see you back here then.
And fill out your brackets. Everybody get those brackets going.
Jaguars having to open up the second quarter. They've led by as many as 10. White inside has been dominant, not this time. Standing out of bounds with possession after the block by Stromel.
Sacred Heart's bigs are doing a great job of walling up, defending with, basically just with the body, without chest, without any extra arms, and then doing a great job, again, of tipping the ball out on a Southern player. I think that's the third time we've seen that today.
Wusu-Mensah checking in for the first time today. The runner by Pryor, she's still scoreless. The rebound controlled by Johnson. Zenobia Johnson directing traffic. Well, somehow that skip pass snuck through. There's a steal. Olivia Tucker, elbow.
This Sacred Heart team will make you pay. When you turn the ball over, they know how to capitalize and run their fast break efficiently. And you see Southern trying to go cross court with that pass and then doing a little too much. There was some miscommunication. Thought White was going to step into that pocket and get it. With the defense by Sacred Heart, it's ratcheting up. You can feel it.
Tucker forcing the turnover. She'll get it back on the wing for the lead.
Seems to me like she's not really using her legs on the shot. She's kind of pushing with her arm, and there's not enough rotation on the ball.
These two teams we mentioned, Sacred Heart from Fairfield, Connecticut, a long ways from home here on the West Coast. Southern from Baton Rouge. Not used to that kind of traveling, you would think. That could be a potential impact. You tell me as a former player.
Both teams were able to charter out here, so no, I don't think that was a big part of it. But I do know the emotions of being in a conference game, championship game. I don't know what it feels like to win that part. However, I can only imagine dealing with the emotion of all that. You're so excited, then you immediately got to refocus. And this is Coach Minetti reassuring Pryor. Keep your head up, young lady. Gonna be all right. I love the way that these two communicate, and Coach Minetti was almost too relaxed for us, conference championship day and today. And she said, hey, they respond to my emotions, so I gotta stay calm.
She said, if I freak out, they freak out. Almost feels like her team keeps her calm the way that she wants to coach. And that's when she's at her best. Fontenot picks up her first.
This is especially intriguing with a young team, because usually with a young team, you got to really ratchet up the emotion, get them buying in, but the buy-in is there. So you don't have to spend that energy. She doesn't even go in and have to do a lot on game days because they run it pro style. You get your shots up, it's quick in and out, you handle your business and leave.
Good news, Bonner appears to be okay after twisting that left ankle in the first. Johnson in transition, she got that to work in traffic. Yeah,
great job by Johnson. Number 24, Sierra Johnson, to be able to call for that screen as the shot clock was running down. She directed that play. The Wood came up and set her nice screen.
Tied at 16. 12-2 run has gotten us to this point, and a foul over the back. That'll go on Harrison.
Let's go back to that previous play. Calling for the screen. Shot clock running down, no problem. Ooh. I didn't realize she had dribbled through 3 defenders to get that shot. Very creative.
Pioneers trying to grab the lead for the first time here in this first 4 matchup. SWAC in the NEC. And that pass sails out of bounds right over top of Bonner. Well, I think if you would have told Jessica Minetti, head coach of the Pioneers, pregame, Pryor's going to be without a point. You're going to trail by as many as 10 in the first quarter, and you're tied at 16.
Yeah.
She would probably take it.
And still have yet to shoot a free throw. I think what's helping a lot is that they've got 5 turnovers, in which they've forced 8 from Southern. So they're able to win that battle a bit. And then you think about, rebounds. They're down actually 5. It feels like they're up.
Johnson launching. And the rebound controlled by Kelsey Wood. Here comes Pryor.
Great transition defense. Look at Pryor. Look at Pryor. to 150. That's what she does.
Baltimore proud. Her mom's a teacher. Grabs that leadership from her parents.
I mean, that quick crossover. Eyes up, taking the contact. Eyes up at the rim. Boom. Hit you again. That's what she needed. Those are her first 2 points of the NCAA tournament. She's also got 4 assists already. Remember, we talked to you guys about this. She does not force the game. She lets it come to her.
68% at the line. Rather symbolic, her first points in the postseason come, giving her team the lead for the first time. She was announced a captain just 4 games into her freshman season. Wood stole it, kept it alive, saved it to Tucker.
Knocked out an official, too. And she's slow to get up. She looks all right. She's laughing on her way back down.
Tucker off the bounce, an offensive foul.
Zenobia Johnson with the footwork. We'll take another look at this one. Anticipates, yep, see that push off there, the form extended by Tucker. Can't do that, and Zenobia Johnson moved her feet before that to get in the right defensive position to take that charge. That's what I really appreciated about that play.
Breather for Kelsey Wood.
Look, she's like, I'm not gonna get any more calls this whole game, you guys. I just knocked out an official. It's over for me. That's what I'd be thinking.
Difference there, it probably would be over for you.
It is. It was over before the game started. You already know.
Be the only person in the history of college basketball to get ejected, or disqualified rather, with 5 fouls in 1 quarter, right?
Yeah, well, we played halftime, but yeah, it was before the first half. It was.
It's 10 minutes in.
Yeah, just about.
But that's a badge I think you would great honor.
I don't mind it. You got to cut back door too to break through the pressure, and that's another thing you've seen Sacred Heart do, right? You saw them pressure release, jab out back door. It took Sacred Heart some time to find those openings, and now how much more settled do they look in this game? Also got Amelia Wood, a big, bringing up the ball for you.
Stromel had the basket to expand the lead to 4. Halfway through our second quarter, an entirely different game than what we were talking about just 10 minutes ago.
Southern's got to get the ball back inside the white. She has been trying to get position, and how about that?
This game was once 14-4. It's now 20-16, a complete reversal. Sacred Heart with possession when we come back.
Coming up at halftime, Degree in the studio with Kelly Gramlich, Nikki Fargas, and Kelsey Riggs. We'll take a look at what Mississippi State did to advance. They'll play Creighton next. We'll dive into that matchup as well. But right now, it's been a different second quarter here, Kelly. Why?
Sacred Heart hit some threes, and then they turned up the defensive intensity. 10 turnovers for Southern. They've got to take better care of the ball.
They do, and they also got to go back to what got them in the game in the first place, was their play action to White. When you had the high-low action from the guard to the post feed, that's why Southern was successful in the first quarter.
Guys, we will break down that and much more. We'll see you in the halftime Degree in the studio.
Kelsey, thank you very much. Back here in Stanford, how about a 16-2 run going all the way back to halfway through the first quarter in favor of the Pioneers. Southern has yet to score a single point in this second quarter. That is the difference. Brooke Weisbrod, Roy Philpott bouncing in for Stromel.
Well, you heard Kelly talk about the turnovers, and so that's the first thing Southern's got to get under control. You can't shoot the ball if you're turning it over, right? And when you heard Coach Fargas talking about that high-low action, you know, she's right. You got to start to open things back up, slow down that defense, because right now Southern's just kind of dribbling around the outside and then have to force things as the shot clock's running down. And keeping the bigs on these guards is working well.
Shot clock under 5. The lid remains firmly on this end of the court. You can feel a different energy with Pryor in this second quarter. Wood comes up short. She'll get it back. Bonner, no. And Southern gets it back. Well, you go back to the first quarter, Raven White was so dominant, had 7 of the first 10 points since then. Hasn't gotten a ton of touches. She'll check out here for Coach Funchess.
Yeah, she needs touches, and quite honestly, the guards have to do their part. She's getting possession. The guards have to do their part and get her the ball.
Rare that you side with the bigs.
I know. Sometimes it happens, sometimes. When it's this obvious, though, I mean, because I've seen myself in that same position, and I was not a great post passer. So I can see how hard it is. And I was a decent passer, just not a post passer. Leave me alone. I already see your face.
I've seen footage. I've seen some of the footage out there. I think it's up for debate.
The bigs also from Sacred Heart. I think this lineup, this bigger lineup, is having a better effect for them. And it also, I feel like, gives them a little more confidence. They're shoring up the paint. The Southern's not been able to get in there, drive. A lot of their offensive movement is, again, coming around and outside the three-point line.
Last foul on Johnson, her first. Shot clock down to 10. It seems like most Southern possessions have been winding down in the clock. This time the runner goes for Taylor Williams. 22 to 18.
And look at Williams, number 4 in white, face guarding Pryor.
Well, that was the one thing we saw in shoot-around this morning. The Southern coaching staff said it time after time, we will not be scared of Pryor.
Ooh.
Good look inside. Basket by Stromel.
That pass is a little scary, though.
But so far, I mean, they haven't backed away from one in red.
Not at all. Not at all. But she is not going to panic either. So that's why I really like this. Because you got such pride on both ends. And both teams bringing it, you know, trying to prove, hey, who's the tougher player out here? It's all good competition. And Pryor, go ahead, put some pressure on her, see what happens. She's not going to panic. Well, Hezzy. That was a very difficult off-balance pass. Threading the needle.
6 assists already for Pryor, the NEC Player of the Year, Freshman of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. Approaching 2 to go in our first half. Coming up at halftime, you'll hear more about Mississippi State finding a way against Illinois. The first 4 matchup of this tournament. Pryor shot rejected. Harrison another block, her second. And inside, how about this? 24 to 20. So Harrison producing on both ends of the court.
Yeah, that was a good interior pass, but the answer comes quick for Sacred Heart.
Olivia Tucker was 30% from 3 this year, and the lead just like that up to 7.
She doesn't have the form of a 30% shooter. That looks way too nice.
All of a sudden, a critical 90 seconds now for Southern at the end of this first half. Crossover by Johnson. Snuck inside, couldn't finish. Hunter with a rebound. Shot clock under 5 again.
Yeah, that's going to be over the back.
And Southern 0 for 3 from distance to start tonight. Don't forget the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. First round starts tomorrow. It's over on CBS, TBS, TNT, and True TV. Coverage starts at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. For more information on tournament game times and networks, go to ncaa.com. Who do you got cutting the nets down there?
Oh, man, I haven't even filled out either bracket yet. I was just concerned about getting to this gym on time. I'm going to take a look at it tomorrow.
That makes 2 of us.
Okay, I'll let you know. But the answer is I have no idea. My method, my system, it's worked for me. I've been 4 for 4 on the men's side before, and yes, last year I was 4 for 4 on the women's side. Give yourself 10 seconds or less to decide.
Don't overthink it.
You have to pick on instinct. That's it. You can know nothing about the teams and maybe like the colors, the mascots, whatever, just pick off instinct. That's my best advice. 2
teams I really like, one on the men's side, one on the women's. UCLA, Tiger Campbell on the men's side. They don't get enough pub.
Okay.
Dealing with an injury. Clark, what's going on there? We'll see. On the women's side, Virginia Tech. They're a 1 seed.
Yes.
I get it. Liz Kitley, Georgia Amore. They can go inside out. Well coached with Kenny Brooks.
We like the Hokies.
We do like the Hokies, and we'll see. Lead is 9. Pryor, the Hezzy. She'll keep it. There it is.
Oh, my goodness. Woo. That's why they call her Lil Mama. Does not give up on the play. Oh my goodness, she sold everybody in this gym.
4 points, 4 rebounds, 7 dimes. We talked to her today extensively. She was close to a triple-double in the NEC title game. We asked her, hey, do you think maybe that's possible? And she really wouldn't say, yeah. We talked about it a little bit more. And I said, I'm just feeling it. I don't know. And she said, well, we'll find out.
Yeah, that's right. We'll wait and see. And she lost the ball a bit. And then just splits the defenders. You expect her to pull up for the jump shot because she's so good at that. And that's what she'll lull you into thinking she's about to shoot and then go bam and just cross you over.
The lead at 11. Shot clock is off. And a foul call on Chloe Fleming. Free throws coming for Pryor. Well, you and I last year had the privilege calling the first and second round games in Norman, Oklahoma. And we witnessed Olivia Miles produce the triple-double early there. And this kind of has a similar vibe in a different way with Nycera Pryor. Five points, 7 dimes, 2 boards.
Yeah, you're looking at, nearly 10 assists by halftime. To tell you everything there is about somebody who's not a selfish player. She just wants her team to win.
A 23-point swing in favor of the Pioneers. And a 17-point advantage in an outstanding second quarter. 33-20, our score at halftime. Coming up next, Degree in studio with Kelly Gramlich rather, and Nikki Fargas right now. Double, 6 points, 4 boards, 7 dimes for Pryor, and a 29-6 run going back to the midway point of the first quarter. It has been all Sacred Heart since that point in time. Pioneers having to open up our third quarter. Back inside Maples Pavilion. Winner of this game gets Stanford. Primetime ESPN2 on Friday night. Second game of the tournament. Mississippi State eliminated Illinois earlier tonight. Bounce pass inside for Wood. She came up short. Double teamed and a jump ball. Arrow give it to Southern. All right, what do the Jaguars need to do differently to start this second half to get back in this?
Take care of the basketball. Number 1, they had 12 turnovers in the first half. As you see, both teams trying to play for a postseason win. First time for their teams, their conference. It is a big deal for either team to move on. And I would like Southern to see more movement. I like this high ball screen, double horns. And then you look at White posting up, 44. There's going to be a foul on Southern, I believe.
So Taylor Williams picks up the personal. She's got 3. Carlos Funches, you mentioned in search of that first win. These two leagues on the women's side never recorded an NCAA tournament victory. So history will be made one way or another. Wood.
So great read by Pryor. Beats her defender backdoor. And then senses the double team coming, so she just has that nice shovel pass to Wood, who always steps right in that pocket. Those two work well together. It's fun to watch them play.
Johnson stop and pop. Back iron, no. Wood clears. Do have some members of the Stanford program in the house watching this matchup, doing a little scouting, trying to make sure that they know what to expect Friday night, right?
You got to start with number 1, Pryor. You know she's going to generate something special out here coming in. 8 assists already. Here's that play backdoor. Gets open, you see White, and then see how Wood just shuffles right in there. Right, all you got to do is give her the shovel pass because she made it easy.
15-point lead. 90 seconds into the third quarter. Fleming retreats inside the White. They found success here in the first quarter. Really none since then. 9 to shoot.
And I would imagine someone from Southern is telling White, do not bring that ball down there. That's where Pryor is waiting for. Yeah, she might be 5'3", she might be 5'1", but she's very strong.
Johnson off the bounce. Kelsey Wood clears and a foul called. You feel a little bit of frustration seeping in with Southern at this point.
Yeah, and the more this game goes on, you're going to want to make shots that are more difficult because you feel like that's what's going to get you back into this game. It's when you're down like this, it's really hard to make the game simple. That's one way to do it, though. Generate defense, get some tips and deflections, go hard in the paint, try to get some calls like that.
Pryor bump, foul, free throws coming.
She's so good at jumping into the defense and then shielding her body so that she can still shoot the ball. It's pretty amazing.
Well, she told us earlier today, lifelong dream is to be like Mom, who's a teacher. Very humble in nature, wants to give back to the community. And she said, I've seen so many of my mom's former students come back and talk with her about the impact that she made in their lives. It makes me want to do the same thing. And then we had the detailed conversation about what it was like growing up in Baltimore and how she became so good. And she said it really was my brother Nathaniel. Nathaniel Pryor III would never let me win. It was him and my dad, iron sharpening iron, that made her this player that she is today. Ahead and on
catch.
And a timeout called by Sacred Heart. Well, Wood was tumbling out of bounds. And a crafty maneuver to keep the possession alive. Leading by 15. .741 remaining in our third quarter. The lead remains at 15 in favor of Sacred Heart. We haven't been to the dance in 11 years. Yeah, reason to get up, celebrate, cheer, and feel good about life, right?
Hit the gritty. You got to hit the gritty on game day. Come on.
Did we see the gritty there?
There's a little grittiness in there.
I don't think we've seen you execute the gritty yet.
Oh, you're really gonna have to get me warmed up. Maybe by Sunday. We'll see what happens.
First time they've been dancing since 2012. In search of that first victory, and for head coach Jessica Benetti, perhaps on their way tonight. Still need to close this one out strong, and all smiles for the moment.
Wouldn't you like to know, and maybe we will close game if Sacred Heart gets away with the win, but to know what Coach Benetti said to Nycera Pryor at the end of the first quarter?
I would like to know.
I would like to know, too.
What do you think she said?
I think she said, you're good. You know, we believe in you. Just relax. You don't have to take this all on yourself. Something calming, maybe? That'd be my guess, because she just is always out there, right? Again, putting her hands down to say, we're good. We can handle this pressure, you guys.
Amelia Wood just picked up her second personal. Remember, Pryor had the foul 5 seconds in, and it really has been phenomenal since. That's her only foul of the game.
Right, adjusted immediately. And I watched her play defense. There were times where she could have gone for the block and didn't. She just contested.
Layup is good. Before that attempt, Southern was just 3 for its last 20. 37-22. Nearly a steal. Pryor will stay with Sacred Heart. That last bucket stops a 13-0 run.
The jump ball possession goes to the Pioneers.
Southern making some tough shots here, but I like the fact that they're going to the basket instead of passing around the three-point line. They're trying to get inside the paint. I think, I mean, if I'm Coach Funchal in the huddle, I'm just saying, hey, go out there and make the play for me. Funchal, excuse me.
Shot clock down to 5. Tucker. Well, she's automatic in that paint, it feels like. Not that time. Johnson inside, and a chance for 3, and perhaps that's the spark they've been in search of.
How about that explosive speed? Novia. Really turn on the Jets here. Take a look at this one. Hezzy, boom. It's under the shoulders of the defense. It goes up hard.
Johnson 67% at the line. The word toughness was used probably 6 or 7 times by our head coach in our conversation with him earlier today, and certainly that's going to be tested down the stretch. Lead down to 12. Tucker wide open. Tracked down by Wood and a fresh 20.
Well, look at how much more aggressive Southern's defense has been.
McWayne the steal.
And this is a team that has played a very tough schedule throughout the season. So the moment is never too big for them. They don't ever think they're out of a game.
Pryor in transition, look out, great dish. Assist number 9.
She just got it. She's got that bounce, that vision, just that perfect rhythm.
The shake, the shimmy.
Shake and the shimmy.
All
and,
of it.
And the sugar.
Number 1 seed Stanford awaits the winner of this game. Spin by White in traffic. Kelsey with the rebound.
And look how many moves that White had to make just to get the shot off. It was right, dribble, pick it up, kind of put it back out on the floor, spin move.
Tucker on Metcalf. And a foul called. That'll go against White.
Go back to take another look here. How good Sacred Heart is in the open floor. Pryor, eyes up, just a little touch pass, those two. But Kelsey Wood has a lot of points attributed to Pryor.
Now, Kelsey Wood has been phenomenal. I'll go back to Amelia Wood's 2 threes coming off the bench in that second quarter. Maybe it was in the first, and things started to change right around then, didn't they?
I agree. Well, between the two of them, you're getting, you know, about 10, 15 points and 15 boards a game. That is awesome coming off the bench.
Off the steal. Metcalf whips it outside. That's a 3. Well, Fontenot couldn't connect. Pryor's going to push it. Shocker. And then back it out.
Yeah, I think she read that play well because she's tried to force it a couple times. She's lost handles of it. I think sensing that the bucket here is more important than the pace. Got a big mismatch inside.
Stromel outside to Wood. Tucker wide open. It'll stay with Sacred Heart. 39-25, 4:28 to go in our third quarter here at Maples Pavilion. Welcome back to Stanford, California. Let's take a look at our bracket tips presented by Nissan. Going straight to number 2. When you're filling out the brackets, you probably want to have a number 1 seed winning the championship. It's happened 10 straight years.
So you're saying there's a chance?
I'm saying there's a chance, and we will see. Maybe that'll be tested. Also remind you, brackets close soon, so scan the QR code to download the ESPN Tournament Challenge app and fill out your brackets right now.
Right now.
Notice that those tips were sponsored by Nissan, not by Brooke Weisbrod.
I will be doing it after this game. Likely I just need a little time to just give it the bracket again. Getting out here is the most important thing.
Right.
I want to make sure I look at the bracket properly and then give myself 10 seconds to decide.
Stromel inside, a great look. 41-25. Get the brackets filled in. Compete in the challenge. Let's see how much you know. Ripped away by Tucker. Ahead to Pryor.
Now, every time we've seen Sacred Heart today come out of the timeout, there's been a different defensive look for them. Late in the fourth quarter, they put on the press against FDU. They were able to lock them out of the game with that press. And let's go back to another great look by Pryor.
Dime number 10.
Ooh, when you show it again, it's so nice. Good active hands. And Tucker ripping it away. She's another strong player.
8, 4, and 10. And the triple-double watch is officially on. Harrison inside, a good look, and a nice finish.
As Elise Harrison brings that size. Another player, you wonder if maybe she and White could play together. How that might change the game and just give them more physical presence inside.
Bonner for 3, no. Harrison clears. 43-27. It was all Southern in the first 5 minutes. Jaguars jumped out to a 10-point lead. Was 14-4. And since then, an entirely different game.
I mean, we looked at each other and said, whoa. And for Sacred Heart to respond the way that they did, especially for being such a young team, is really, it commands presence. And Coach Minetti has done an excellent job preparing her team for the postseason, ready to handle anything, and you got a star in number 1 with Pryor.
Wood was fouled. Free throws coming. The NCAA Women's Championship continues Friday with first-round games and will continue all the way through Sunday, April 2nd, when we crown a champion. Every game is on the ESPN family of networks. For more information, go to NCAA.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships. April 2nd will be here before you know it. All right, I'll put you on the spot right now. You're on the record.
Yeah. Oh,
Your champion.
My champion is South Carolina. I am the pick that I'm sure many other people in America probably feel is, you know, it's kind of a, it's not a guarantee, but I mean, come on.
They haven't lost a game.
You know I'm just putting it out there because we're at a number 1 seed right now. I'm just trying to get the Stanford fans riled up to come out here and say, hey, what about us? We just did it.
They'll have a chance.
No, I really do like South Carolina.
You got
yeah,
to.
I do. How can you not? You know, it's really hard. And look at this. First quarter, they scored 16. Haven't been able to find the bucket since.
Williams off the bounce. Runner off glass. And a tough shot goes down. Williams has 4. Here comes more full-court pressure.
So Southern can win this next 2 minutes, right? Force a few turnovers with some shots. Basically get that, you know, those 3 stops. 3 stops, a couple scores, where they'll put themselves in great position for a fourth quarter comeback. But you know Sacred Heart's trying to slow this game down, just manage the pace, but not play tentative. And that's a hard spot.
Mensa fell down. Boy, Pryor down low. I thought she was going to try to post up a taller player for a minute. She'll get another rebound.
And an assist, almost.
Jaguars get it back off the jump ball.
If you ever have anybody, any coach, anybody tell you, you know, you got to be big to get boards, look at that young lady right there. It is a generous 5'3" that she's listed. Coach Minetti and her staff knew they had somebody special before the season even started. Little mama's in there of all of 5'3", grabbing rebound after rebound every night.
And we mentioned South Carolina, really the favorite by far and away to win the championship. That's a 3 from the corner. McWayne connects. Her first 3 points of the night. Lead down to 13. There's a lot of metrics out there that support the Gamecocks winning it again. Tucker's short. Wood gives them a fresh 20. But UConn, Virginia Tech, maybe 2 other programs that could surprise, if that even makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, these are, you know, great statistics and all, but when it comes to game time, hold the ball out there and let them play. You know, you never know, and I think there's so much great fan talk about it, right? And there's some other teams out there, I think, that fans would love to hear more about. I mean, you think about a dark horse, you know, I put that in quotes, like a Duke, right? They've had a great year. Defensively, they're so strong. You think about teams like Notre Dame. Are they going to be the same Notre Dame? Who are they going to be in the postseason? And then the 16 seeds like a Sacred Heart. Could they do the impossible? Win tonight and knock off Stanford.
We have seen that before. Unfortunately, Stanford fans
They
cover
have
your
as
ears.
well, yes.
In 1998, the 16 toppled the 1. You never know. It will happen again. Question is, will it happen again this year? How about Southern keeping this one close? Tara Vanderveer, all-time winningest coach in D1 history. Need we say more? She's won the championships prior to the steal. And fouled hard.
The way she attacks the basket, too, I mean, it has so much just confidence that she's going to bounce right back up off the floor. I mean, that is a strong young woman right there.
Defensive Player of the Year in the NEC. The one stat we haven't given you, she leads the country in steals per game at almost 4 per contest.
the way she does it, Roy, it's not even about, you know, taking the ball from the dribbler. She reads their eyes, and she can sense the timing exactly right of when the player's about to release it, and that's when she jumps. So she catches that ball at her absolute height. But she just anticipates well.
Just 2 of 6 at the line, 8 points tonight. Make it 9. Metcalf comes back in. Fleming checks out for Southern. Jaguars still within striking distance here in a 4th quarter to work with, trailing by 14. Shot clock, game clock, virtually identical. How about a 3? McWayne knows she hit one from the corner a minute ago. It's only 3 made by the Jaguars tonight.
They're going to try to double team, and the ball got over there. Sacred Heart dribbles out of it, so does Mama.
And Wood on the putback. It fell short. 46-32, 10 minutes to go here in Stanford. And Sacred Heart perhaps 10 minutes away from its first ever NCAA win. Well, we do like the first 4. It does provide drama on occasion. Maybe not as much here in day 1 of the dance. You see 14-point win for Mississippi State, 11 versus the 11. Bulldogs advance to face Creighton on Friday. And then here, the winner of this game gets Stanford primetime ESPN2. And right now, Sacred Heart also a 14-point lead. Coming up tomorrow, 2 more games in the first 4. St. John's, Purdue, Monmouth, Tennessee Tech.
Yeah, just a full day of basketball. So we're going to be here watching practices, maybe have a couple screens open just to make sure we're aware of what's going on out there. But it's literally the best days of the year. When you've got morning to like late night basketball.
All day, almost all night.
Yeah, like why are we people should not have to work. We should take these days off. I used to have a roommate that would literally just take off those 2 days, Thursday and Friday.
Developed a sudden cough, maybe?
Little cough.
Yeah, wasn't feeling
great.
great.
There's a lot to be grilled, and you know, you got to put out the buffet and the spread. You got to get ready.
4th quarter underway. Sacred Heart trying to make some history. Win the first game ever for the NEC on the women's side. Shot clock down to 5. Pryor, contested long 2.
And that's what you want to see her take, if anything. Again, the closer she gets to the basket, she's dangerous. It's not, you know, her getting to the rim, layups. It's the passing on the inside that makes her so good at handling pressure. Great defense and a poke out by Wood.
Now the Wood sisters, 18 points, 13 boards combined between Amelia and Kelsey. Johnson inside, breaks free. She's got 6. Kelsey Wood has 10, Pryor with 9, and Olivia Tucker with 9 as well. Brooke Weisbrod, Roy Philpott will be here in Stanford all the way through Sunday. We'll find out which team's able to punch their ticket to the Sweet 16. And we haven't talked a lot tonight about Ole Miss and Gonzaga. That 8-9 matchup, we mentioned it briefly. Certainly offering plenty of intrigue on Friday. That'll be late Friday night. When you think about that game and winner of that one advancing maybe against Stanford on Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is a good game. You got
Buckle up.
You got a Gonzaga team that's balanced. You got 3 players who scored 13 or more. If they had a win over Louisville early in the season, hey.
Johnson fouled by Johnson.
And Genovia Johnson trying to be out there and do it all and being very vocal with her teammates. Trying to get back in this game.
Got Coach Yo in the house and the Zags. I mean, they're not that far away from 30 wins this year. So that game, you got 2 winning programs on the up and up. The winner of that one awaiting the winner of Stanford, what looks to be Sacred Heart.
You can see the way the Sacred Heart players line up after, or before I should say, that first shot. What a way to just, you know, visually it looks like, hey, you know, we got your back. It's something different. I haven't seen it in the college game until this year.
You know, we found out more about Coach Minetti and some of the things she brings to the table behind the scenes. I thought you asked her an interesting question. They actually do their own 64-word bracket, going all the way back to the preseason, where they highlight words that they want to focus on through the course of the season itself.
Wow.
Great look to Tucker. She missed the chippy. In that bracket, the words survive and advance all the way to a final word, or final 4 words that represent their team that they kind of hang their hat on.
Yeah, it was pride, you know, and for a while, a few weeks, they weren't playing with pride. See bodies hitting the floor. This is what you expect in a postseason game. Genovia Johnson still down on the sideline. She's grabbing her right ankle.
And a good call to pause the action. As they tend to the senior out of Fort Lauderdale.
Taylor Williams of Raven White into the Jaguars.
We saw the way she and Pryor went diving for the loose ball, so we'll take another look at this. Ooh. Oh, she slammed her leg right into the table. You'd have to think that that's part of it too. And then, well, actually, she grabs the other leg.
You know, she got up under her own power. That's a good sign. Walks back to the huddle.
And you feel the emotions starting to take over as well. You add pain to that. Such a tough young lady to be out here. And you could really see defensively, like she's been the one to really try to keep this team together.
And she's been a winner her entire life. That state championship at Dillard High School, along with her teammate Raven White, now with Southern. Both played well tonight. And a conference title, claiming that SWAC championship against Arkansas Pine Bluff, and that semifinal victory against Jackson State, the defending champs. Jacks get it back, trailing by 15. And there they are back in the day. Wasn't that long ago. Dillard High School stand up.
That's a nice trophy. Look at that SWAC tourney trophy right there, baby. That's shiny. I like that. And that's always a good look. The gold medal, you know, shines a little better when you bite it, I think.
Indeed. Working on that right leg. Jaguars looking for a couple of quality offensive possessions and maybe a few stops. You get it under 10 with about 5 to go, you got a shot.
You do. I still think you got to get the ball inside because there's so many active hands on the outside. Bringing Amelia Wood up top defensively has been a good move for Sacred Heart. Johnson, she got work on the right leg and she hit her left leg on that table going out of bounds.
Kelsey Wood double teams. Outside to Tucker, that's a long 3. You know, 70 has been the magical number, it feels like, more times than not for Sacred Heart this year. And they score 70, and awfully difficult to beat. They won't get there tonight in all likelihood. But the defense has been rock solid.
Well, it's interesting to me that you've got a team in Southern that's only got 34 points. Usually you see that against like a #1 seed, you know, in the opening round of the tournament. Not
What does
being able
that
to
tell
score.
you?
It tells me the defense from Sacred Heart has been very real. I mean, after that first quarter, we saw a completely different team. They forced 20 turnovers so far tonight. They've capitalized, scoring 21 points off those turnovers. They're getting in the paint. And that's pretty much even on both sides. But yeah, it's been the turnovers and then Pryor orchestrating a 10 assist tonight.
Mid-range is there for Reed. No, Sanaya Reed. Her first points. Lead down to 13. Well, we've seen stranger things happen. And a lot of time left in this one. It's never easy, right? You make it this far, you're playing good competition.
You don't feel comfortable, that's for sure. Sacred Heart does not feel comfortable with a 13-point lead. No chance.
Shot clock down to 5. Pryor knows it. Nearly lost it. Tucker.
Oh, wow!
With the save over a photon. And Sacred Heart gets it back. How about the hustle?
Come on, Pryor. That's going to get it done. Let's make sure our guy's all right, though.
He's
I don't know
smiling.
if he was ready.
He's smiling.
That's every photographer's dream, isn't it? You want that action shot.
I don't know that you wanted that up close and personal with that big of a lens.
I think you do. Look at Pryor. The hustle. That's the 4th time. Oh, he took a forearm shimmer to the face. Still held on to the camera. Protected it, too. You saw that? He cushioned it on the way down.
We've seen her in the last 2 minutes dive out of bounds. 2 different angles, 2 different parts of the court. And there is no let up. In and out for Wood. And a rebound by Diamond Hunter.
Ball not falling tonight for Sacred Heart. Just 3 of 18. Not going to go away from shooting it, though. If it's a good shot, they're still going to take it.
High ball screen for Metcalf. Step back, Jay. Well, that would have been big. And an offensive foul. Owusu-Mensah. That'll take us our under 5 timeout. 13-point game here in the first 4. The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Quick stroll down memory lane. Notre Dame, Baylor, Stanford, and the Gamecocks, winners of each of the last 4 national championships. Who will cut down the nets on April 2nd this year? Well, history tells us likely to be a #1 seed. So take a look at teams that have won multiple titles.
Yeah, this is rare air and company right here. You look at the top of the charts, women's basketball history and culture. It's the big names. Tara Vanderveer with 3 herself. Stanford, of course, USC. Thinking back to the days of Cheryl Miller. La Tech, like that was the team growing up to watch.
Whitenside had 7 points in the first 3 minutes tonight, has not scored since. Brooke Westbrook, Roy Philpott. 13-point lead, Sacred Heart with possession. NEC champs back to work. Pryor was bumped. Hit the deck hard, she'll shoot 2.
Second person, number 12, Taisha Metcalf. Second team foul.
Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi are headed to Dallas. We're going to bring their inside experience and humor along with them. Bird and Taurasi show at the Final Four Friday, March 31st, Sunday, April 2nd. Live on ESPN2 and ESPN+. You must watch.
Yes.
It is entertainment at its finest.
I would love to see them as a part of a regular broadcast every week. You know, we got the Mannings. This is what we need for women's basketball.
100%.
We need some smack talking.
How about a double-double for Pryor? 11 points, 10 dimes, 7 boards. It is not entirely out of the question.
Oh, not at all.
Sacred Heart's had only 1 other triple-double in its history. That was back in 2019. Pryor could be the first one to do it in the NCAA tournament. Lead back to 15. It's a 4-point game after the first quarter. Sacred Heart then went on a 37-20 run. Now leading by 15. In and out for Williams. And Pryor just has a nose for the basketball. Rebound number 8. Tucker left open. McWayne on the move. And she'll connect. Elbow jumper was there, less than 4 to go, 51-38.
That's a shot that could have been available, I feel like, throughout the night. And it just has not been a shot that they've taken. McWayne having experience trying to get something moving here late in the game. But Pryor has been the story of the night, of this team throughout the season. The freshman was only thinking, play 10 minutes a game. She's in the postseason now as the NEC Player of the Year, Freshman of the Year. Coach reminding her, hey, I love you. Go out there, Just play hard, do what you do. You create shots for your teammates. You love your teammates, right? Well, they love you back. They're gonna hit outside shots for you. You lead the transition, and it's always the hustle for her. Pryor, diving out of bounds for loose ball, saving plays, making sure the photographer's okay, and coming through with the layup. She is toughness personified. Look at her fighting off 2 defenders. Bump, bump, 5-3, still able to handle it.
11, 8, and 10. For the 5'3" freshman captain and player of the year in the NEC. What can she do?
Wow.
Those 10 dimes a career high. 3.5 to play. Now Southern put the clamps on a little bit harder in this fourth quarter. Sacred Heart got a field goal made since the 9-minute mark.
Well, I like the spacing and the consistent motion and a lot of curling action for Sacred Heart. So it's constantly going at the basket. Good off-balance shot. That one by Tucker.
Tucker now in double figures with 11. She'll join Kelsey Wood and Pryor, have 10 and 11 respectively. Good jump stop and the bounce for Chloe Fleming. Well, the pace picks up with that full court pressure.
Sure does. And Sacred Heart handles it so well. I love how so many players are willing to go to the ball and get it. A lot of players are like, I don't want any of that pressure. Don't give me the ball. Not the case for Sacred Heart.
Johnson off the mark. We talked to Coach Minetti about the recruitment. Nasira Pryor. Really, no other schools were heavily involved. Putbacks there for Raven White. She's got 9.
Yeah, everybody thought Pryor was too small.
At 5'3", you can understand why.
You know what I heard? 5'7" guards are a dime a dozen. We don't need you. And I'm sure she heard worse. At 5'3", you can only imagine. But she speaks volumes with her games, right? I'm sure she would love to have the same opportunity to have a conversation with those same coaches now.
Winner of this game will get #1 seed Stanford. Friday night, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN2. Winner of that matchup take on the winner of Ole Miss and Gonzaga. That game headed your way 10 o'clock Eastern on ESPNU Friday night. And then the winner take all, if you will, to the Sweet 16 Sunday at a time to be determined. Lower half of the bracket, Louisville, you know, is dangerous.
Yeah.
Texas, you know, is dangerous. East Carolina found a way to win the AAC, right?
Yeah, and they were picked last. Picked last, and East Carolina did the thing and got here. So congratulations to the Pirates.
Tara Vanderveer, scouting report, ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
Looking ahead, thinking about, okay, looks like it
I think
could be the Pioneers.
I think maybe she's got a funny meme she's looking at right now. She might be doing a TikTok. We really don't know.
Maybe she's looking at your Twitter account wondering, why did she post that?
That could be possible.
Under 2.5 to play. Good take by Stromer.
And she's somebody you wouldn't necessarily identify on the scouting report. How about she's got 8 points on 4 of 4 shooting. Again, it's the role players getting it done for Sacred Heart.
I think that's a good call on your part. So Stromel has doubled her season average here tonight. And then we mentioned earlier, Amelia Wood, 7.5 points, almost 6 rebounds per game. But she came off the bench in a critical moment. The first quarter, really, 2 threes, back-to-back possessions, where it felt like for a moment Southern was going to run away from Sacred Heart early in this one.
You felt that way. That first quarter started it, and Sacred Heart looked like deer in the headlights. Southern's pressure, and then they just really relaxed. It was like as if they took a deep breath and remembered who they were. Showed up second quarter on.
The bump by Johnson. Second time we've seen Johnson foul Johnson. She's got 4. 95 seconds remaining. Told you're going to have a little post-game interview for us.
Can't wait.
A little bit later. Folks can find that online later tonight.
When you talk to Pryor, you already feel like you're talking to a head coach. So let me get myself together to talk to Coach over here, little mama Coach Pryor. And then I can ask her what Coach said to her at the end of the first quarter. How about that?
You mentioned casually that it looks like she said, "I love you, you got this." Reading lips, I thought that's literally what she said. And so
that's exactly what you need to hear.
Right. And sometimes that's all it takes. What you need to hear.
Yep.
Great take inside by Johnson and a quick timeout. 55-46. Well, Southern with renewed energy in this fourth quarter, outscoring Sacred Heart 14-9, but running out of time.
Yeah, they've gotten into the paint and gotten some shots to fall down. The mid-range has not been too kind to them tonight. And just trying to get inside has been really tough. I mean, that is an incredibly acrobatic, tough shot that you have to hit. Johnson can do it. They haven't been able to do it all game, though. I mean, that's a lot of different moves. Crossover, kind of carrying it through, up and down through traffic. And she wants to see her team get up in the press.
Late night on the farm. 9-point advantage here in the first four, the Seattle Regional 4. Two regionals this year. You got Seattle, you got Greenville, which is a little different than previous years where you've had 4 regionals.
I love it. I think the more we can really condense and combine games and crowds and venues, that's the way to go. And I will be in Greenville, roaming the sidelines, trying to get what I can.
That's my town, by the way.
That's right. I'm falling in love with your town, man. It'll be about 12 days all I've spent there.
Don't tell anybody. Here's a steal. Here comes Fleming. Left-handed layup. Boy, that could have been interesting, and a foul on the putback. Boy, Southern trying to make this close game late.
They are in it for the fight, and this is, you wish if you're a Southern fan that you had seen this early in the third quarter. This is not the same team we've seen. This was a first quarter Southern team. Now here they are coming back in the fourth.
Johnson's got 10 points. 2 of 2 at the line, now 2 of 3.
They're also going real small here, as you can see. Trying to get those threes and just get up and down the floor as quick as they can. Get the press, get turnovers.
One of 2, lead down to 8. Sacred Heart will call a timeout. All right, if you're Jessica Benetti, what's the message to your team at this point?
You have to handle these last 42 seconds with pressure. You got to handle the pressure with grace, right? And every time they come out, you see her putting her hands and her palms down, like to say, calm down. You got to execute. This is like not going too fast in the huddle. Understand you still have 2 timeouts, so if you get double teamed, it's cool. Don't panic, call the timeout, we got you. Understand if you also get tied up, you've got the possession arrow. So really what you're trying to do is waste time, make sure the ball gets into the right person's hands if they're gonna start fouling, which they have to. You know, Olivia Tucker's probably your best free throw shooter out there.
Well, it's the first time this game has been within 10 points since it was 29-20. There's been no let-up in the SWAC champions, Southern University Jaguars.
Well, it's pretty crazy as you look at the percentages. Shooting percentage for Sacred Heart, 36. Southern shooting better at 38. Sacred Heart is shooting 14% from 3. You know, Southern's only hit 1 3 in this game, so you kind of wonder what that difference is. And I look at turnovers. And Sacred Heart was able to at least get 6 more shots because they weren't turning the ball over.
Tucker outside to Wood. She'll step through the double team. And a forearm to Olivia Tucker results in free throws. Pioneers in the bonus. And Olivia Tucker instrumental in the comeback against FDU Sunday in the NEC Championship in Hackensack, New Jersey. Has 12 more points tonight.
And even though she's 1 of 10 from 3, she's money at the line. This is who you want to close it out.
86% on the season. Weisbrod-esque.
That's a B+. Maybe an A if you get a little extra credit, you talk to the teacher the right way. You know, get some nice little quality points, like give him a little compliment maybe. I don't see you doing that at all.
No, that's correct. Brief stoppage here. Who called the timeout? Was Southern.
All right. Southern with the timeout just to set up what, you know, would have to be a miraculous run here. And they've got to hit some threes at this point. You can't just drive and hope you get a call.
All right, so we think out loud for a minute. A little over 30 seconds remaining in this one. Let's assume that Sacred Heart finds a way to hold on. You look ahead towards Stanford, the #1 seed, right back here, Friday night, 7:30 Eastern, prime time, ESPN2. I don't know. What do you think? What are your thoughts?
I'm so fascinated by this matchup. You know, I would love to see how Pryor is going to respond in an environment against a #1 seed like Stanford. You got the inside game. You got the Wood sisters, Cameron Brink. Let's see what happens on the inside.
I don't know that the Pioneers would be able to get off a lot of shots in the painted area. Call me crazy. So that would be something to look at and something to watch early.
I would think so, yeah. The paint is going to be pretty protected.
There's some
Friday.
Size, right?
I believe so, yeah. I think they have a couple tall players.
Here on the farm?
Yep.
I think so. 10-point lead. It's been a fun start and a good game between these two conference champions. NEC versus the SWAC. Isira Pryor, a double-double, 11 points, 10 assists, 8 rebounds. Jaguars want something quick. Get a deep three by Reed. And a foul. It's Pryor going to pick up the personal, and she just fouled out. Well, stuff in the stat sheet in a multitude of ways.
Well, just a couple rebounds shy of a triple-double. She will take the dub. Live to fight another day. So I think the championship game, was she 2 rebounds short of a triple-double as well?
That's correct.
Yeah.
No, it was 2 assists.
Oh, you're right, 2 assists.
She had the 10-plus rebounds in the third quarter and then fell 2 dimes short. So tonight, a little bit of a different story. She'll take it, though, because they got the dub.
No doubt.
I think that's what is most important to her. Put back, no. Timeout, yes, after the rebound by Wood.
And they'll be able to advance the ball with that timeout, so coach will be able to make some substitutions here. And Sacred Heart can celebrate a little bit, maybe not.
Well, let's give some credit.
Keeping it business.
Kelsey Wood, too. She recorded a double-double, 10 points, 11 boards. The junior out of New York. So a double-double by her and by Pryor. And Olivia Tucker with 13 as well.
When we talked about that matchup, that's Kelsey Wood right there. And you just think about how difficult it's going to be. She's going to have to face one of the best players in the game in Haley Jones. She's going to start off at guard. Yeah, she can hit those outside shots. I mean, you talk about creative. She's able to pass the vision here. So tough in the paint, creative finishes. We've seen her make shots from her knees, sitting down. What can't Haley Jones do? Got a nice autograph, a nice podcast. Let's go, I'm ready to see her play.
#1 Stanford awaits. And Sacred Heart has done it. The first time in the school's history. An NCAA tournament victory. And the first one ever for the NEC as well. 57-47 the final.
Well, I'd say it was a game that they did not like the start of it. Just 12 points in the first quarter. They responded in the second with 21 and held Southern to 4 points in the second quarter. That was the difference in the game. Coach Minetti can celebrate this one.
Pryor with a double-double. Kelsey Wood, a double-double. Brooke mentioned the slow start. An incredible finish. That was the difference. And the Pioneers We play in the first round against Stanford Friday night, 7:30 Eastern time on ESPN2. Don't forget 2 more first 4 matchups tomorrow. We look forward to those. But here in Stanford, California, 57-47 the final. For Brooke Weisbrod, I'm Roy Philpott saying good night. 30 for 30, won and not done. Headed your way right now.